I spent 3 months on electronic monitoring as a condition of my release after spending more than 22 years incarcerated in prison in Illinois. So I was incarcerated when I was 18 years old, and the entire time that I was there, the only thing that I could think about was getting home to my family, being there for them like I couldn't be when I was incarcerated, and building a life and moving forward. But when I came home in December 2016, at the age of 41, I discovered that EM meant that I was bringing the prison home with me. So for me, I spent the first 3 months of my life as a free citizen for the first time in decades, having every move not just monitored, but restricted and restrained in ways that made absolutely no sense and actually actively interfered with me reconnecting with my family or positively constructing a life.
One day, I remember my mom coming up to the school to get me because she got some notification or something that I wasn't at school, but I was at school. Um, and so that almost caused me to get in more trouble. But thank God that my assistant principal in my school and my teachers, everybody was able to verify that I was in school that day. I was just afraid, from what I was told, that if I'm somewhere that I'm not supposed to be, that the police would, like a swarm of police, would show up. So I was always looking over my shoulder.
At the time, I was going to physical therapy for my broken legs, and I was getting stretched and all that. When they slapped that ankle monitor on me, I stopped going to physical therapy because I was embarrassed and I was ashamed, and I was like, "What are they gonna think when they see this big bracelet on my ankle?" And so I stopped going, and then that really hindered the progress in my recovery during that time. Ankle monitoring literally stopped me from recovering from from very debilitating injuries.
For me, electronic monitoring was less a stepping stone back into society than it was a stone around my neck. It impacted every single aspect of my life, and it did it in a negative way. So when I did get a job, I was terrified that I was going to miss the bus, and not make it home and get violated, or that I would be in a car and the car would break down and I would get violated. I go back to prison for it. So it's not just you that is impacted by these things, right? It's everyone you love, everyone who's in the home with you. These things turn they turn your family members into prisoners and into wardens.
Let's face it, kids already have a lot of crap that they deal with, trying to discover who they are. It can damage their self esteem. It can, make them isolate themselves from people. It's a constant shame. You already feel bad about, what you've done or what you've been accused of doing. And then to walk around, it's like the scarlet letter.
And like comparing it to like jail, for me, is it better than jail? Yes, but we can do much better than electronic monitoring. We could do pretrial services without surveillance. I would feel much more comfortable with a community organization, a nonprofit that serves the community, not surveilling me, not tracking me, but just checking in with me and making supporting me as I go through court. There's a very big disconnect between community and law enforcement, especially communities of color. So um, I think we have to shift towards community-based services